So when you stole, so I figured it out. I know what happened to the estate that was stolen from me when I was kidnapped the first time. Let's get this accurate. It's kind of like, because these things have played out, they've magnified. It's actually what happened. I've suspected that what's happened with the CFO in Huawei in Canada is the reason she was kidnapped like that is because it was a vestiture of a deal that got hooked up when I was kidnapped in 2010. But I wasn't kidnapped. I had a mental illness. So they sent me for treatment. And when I went for treatment, they took my bag and they put it in the refrigerator because of bed bugs. And it ended up all getting disposed of, except it didn't get disposed of. They used what was in that bag as collateral on a loan that Chase Bank gave to the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco. I believe it was $400 million. Now, I didn't know about this at the time. I found out later. And somehow somebody wanted to think that I was actually obligated to give my estate and what I had done as a loan to somebody else to pay for something else that had happened. Okay, that should have been the end of it. Except that's not how it works. So now you've got the CFO of Huawei actually in Canada, presumably accused of all these horrible crimes. And in the meantime, somehow Apple, literally, Apple ends up getting a hold of part of that estate and starts turning it into underwriting or product development on completely disgusting technology that, I mean, is even racialized in the names of the programming languages it uses. And part of the problem I'm having is that my programming, my original programming, was based on a completely different programming paradigm. But because of the paradigm I was used for, and because of the fact it was actually about national security, that there's only so many options that can happen as long as I refuse to assimilate the new technology with the open ended programming languages, i.e., I hate Java. I can't work with people in Java because Java is racist and it's sexist and it's disgusting. And by the way, it's a completely inefficient programming language. But it allows for the development of multiple rationales at any given time. And as long as you cede on command, then somebody else gets to select which option they want to execute in order for them to be able to maximize their profitability. But I don't cede. And I can only blame this so much on the fact that the nuances of the programming languages, the programming language with which I was originally associated, don't allow for that for actual national security reasons, which is why I ended up getting kidnapped in the first place. You know that? I was never supposed to be made available as an asset for use by the people they wanted me to make accessible to me. They wanted me to go do these things with other people. And I was like, no, I don't approve. I thought it meant one thing. But the truth of the matter is, the State Department had no jurisdiction. But because of the deals they had hooked up, the State Department got jurisdiction. And what happened to where it was supposed to go? Well, we're still dealing with that. And that brings us to where we are today, the Megaport. The Megaport Initiative, which was supposed to be a global commitment that had to do with, among other things, nuclear safety. The United States compelled a bunch of other places to implement certain standards, and then all of a sudden decided we're not focusing on this. We're going to go with second line of defense again. They're going to go with the seeding initiative, which is completely different because it involves handheld mobile devices to identify potential RN incidents, which basically means guys in security and police with cell phones watching porn, pinging your vagina for a big dump, you know, your port. And now they've got a beautiful member of Congress whose husband happens to be a big dragon who is selling her stocks to mutual funds because she didn't realize it was a bad deal for her to do that. And now they want to take the company that's junk bonding all of these toxic assets these complete charlatans in this country are trying to offload for some sort of conversion. and they're going to let that company go set up mutual funds in China. You guys are so fucking stupid. I said, it's not going to help us to continue acting stupid. That's literally what happened. Now, are these stories fake? Do they just put me in isolation in a bubble like Miss Huawei to see like how nightmarish they could make this for some sort of insurance underwriting? Okay, perhaps it wouldn't matter. But there's literally what I've actually seen. And there's literally what ends up going on time and time again. You can't blame this on aliens. This isn't even just about human error. It's called premeditation.